let's talk about other people, relationships. So we're social animals, right? We're social monkeys. We exist in relationships. Even if, like me, you're slightly more, not so into relationships in a gooey, touchy-feely way, or maybe you're more introverted, you're still a relational creature. And this is absolutely vital to the work you love and this course. So it's vital in a number of different ways. First thing, I'd say map your support team. So in work, if you're going out there in a big way, you're gonna need a support team, yeah? You're pretty their support team too, right? So it's not one-sided, like my wife, for example, yeah? Part of my support team, someone I can call when I'm upset, someone she can call me when she's upset, that's part of the deal, yeah? Friends, family, whoever it is. You need that support team, particularly if you're doing something innovative, if you're being seen in a big way. What do they do? I mean, sometimes it's like practical advice, like there's a number of like other business dudes I can call up and say, hey, where can I get a website made? Or, who knows about SEO or copywriting, yeah? This is practical advice. There's also just that like camaraderie of sitting down with another guy who does, I don't know, embodiment work or e-learning or stuff around purpose. I was talking to Jamie Caddo, who's a friend of mine, and he does some other stuff around purpose, different flavor, but similar area. We're just like hanging out and phoning, chatting, and it's just nice for both of us. I mean, forget the fact that we can share practical tips or exercises, and there's this element, but there's also, it's just nice. Like we're in the tribe, and we're real different people, but there's an element of belonging in the fact that we both have a similar purpose in the world. Yeah, so being around your tribe for practical reasons, for emotional reasons, it's not a nice to have. It's essential. Yeah, really essential in terms of sustainability, in terms of success, on a practical, emotional, spiritual, all these levels. So we find our purpose in relationship too. Yeah, so it's not like, a lot of the work in this area for me is a bit individualistic. It's like me and my purpose. It gets a bit egoic. The perspective I'd have is like, what were you born to be of service for? Yeah, what is your gift to give to others? How can you help the world? If you're not interested in that, I'm not interested in working with you. It's as simple as that. Yeah, I have no interest in helping people get more efficient so they can screw more people over. It just doesn't interest me. Yeah, good luck to you. I hope you're well, but I hope you don't succeed. I hope that you're not in charge of the world. The people I really want to support with this work, I think you wouldn't have signed up for this course if you weren't one of these people. Hopefully we've put enough heads on spikes with our marketing to scare the other people off, are people who are doing something useful in the world. So that's, for me, it's part of the heart piece that sustains us. Yeah, the heads on spikes thing's interesting, actually. It's about your friends, but it's also about losing friends. So who are the people you spend the most time with? Do they inspire you? Big one. Do they support you in all these ways? Do they challenge you? So there's a yin and a yang, a fire and a water here, yeah? You need some people that will say, hey, Mark, you're making a fool of yourself. Or, hey, Mark, you're full of shit. Or, hey, Mark, you shouldn't treat your employees that way. Really important, particularly if you're the boss or if you're isolated somehow, to people that will challenge you on your stuff. That's the sort of more fiery side of love. The watery side is the empathy, the care, the support. Both of those sides are really important. You need people who that you're supporting. Yeah, like I took a young guy to the band yesterday. Great guy, does some work with us, a bit younger than me, 10 years younger than me. And I was basically supporting him to be okay with looking after himself, to be okay with being big. It's an expensive, nice place, and he was like, oh my God, I'm not sure if I can handle this. I'm like, yes, you can. To step into that body of status and having success, So supporting people, I'd say is part of this, mentoring people, also being mentored. Yeah, you need mentors. I have several mentors in the business realm, some more spiritual dimensions, really vitally important. If I think of, say, my relationship with Paul Linden, who's one of my main embodiment teachers, or there's a mentor of mine who's been done a lot of sort of deep spiritual work, but at quite high levels in business. These are people that inspire me both in their way of being and what they've done in the world. That mentorship is important. The peer relationships are important. So these are the social levels we need around us, I would say. We need to be part of an extended network to be successful. Both in terms of, yes, the networking, the having connections, the being able to ask. People will save you a lot of time, in terms of their learning. Like I spoke to a whole load of people around how to do e-learning before really diving into this area who had kind of made mistakes and said, don't do this, do this. Yeah, so practical, but also emotional. I would suggest a good exercise watching this video is to map that. Yeah, so real simple, you don't have to be an artist, take a piece of paper, put yourself, like me, on that piece of paper, and then put around that, who's your support team? Yeah, are they available? You could color code it, you could have an arrow pointing to which way they're heading, you know. How close to you? How much do they give you more the love side, draw a love heart? Is it more the practical side? You could draw a little hand. Yeah, so map that and look at that and go, okay, does that need work? Yeah. Equally, is there anyone around you who is a real drain, who's just a taker? Yeah, and I don't mean that they're a friend who's going for a tough stage. Yeah, I mean someone who's fundamentally not giving to you in the way you're giving to them. So parasitic people, it's kind of harsh, but that's one to avoid. Or people that just aren't in that leadership position, people that are always in a victim stance. Now, unless you're really committed to helping those people, ones to cut out of your life. They are going to infect you with that mentality, that embodiment of despair and resentment, and there's nothing we can do, and it's everybody else's fault. Do you really want those people around you? Unless you're seriously committed to those people, I'd say that's a choice to be quite careful of. If those people are the people you work with, let's say, I don't know, you work with depressed teenagers, they might be like, fine, no problem, but make sure you're around other people who aren't like that in the time outside of work. Yeah, there's a kind of saying, we're the sum result of the 5 people we spend most time with. Yeah, so like on that map, who are the 5 people you spend the most time with? Do they inspire you? Like if I think of Vilya, my Russian partner, for example, she's smart, she's kind of aesthetically orientated in a way I would like. You know, there's shared values, you know, there's shared learning about culture, because we have different cultures. We balance each other well because of different styles, different genders, you know. So there's all kinds of reasons why like I want to be around her other than just she's a business partner, you know. So she's just over there, that's why I'm mentioning her. But so she's one of the people I spend the most time around, particularly when I'm working in Russia. Yeah. So that's the question. Who are you spending the most time around? Are they the people you want? Sometimes we need to lose friends. Yeah. If you're really going to grow, losing friends is as important as making them. It doesn't have to be harsh. It doesn't make them bad people. It's just, do you want those people front and center in your life? For me, there's a certain, it's a bit brutal, but the word I use is cull that happens from time to time, where I just say, you know what, this isn't working with certain people. And the heads on spikes, like warning people off. Yeah, like we did that with the marketing for this course. It's like, okay, if you're not prepared to get real, to, like no bullshit approach that we're really front and center with, it's like, we had lots of heads on spikes, like a little bit of swearing, for example. Yeah, it's not just because I like swearing, it's fun, right? But it's also like saying, look, if you're too sensitive that a swear word offends you, fuck off. You're not our target group. You're not the people for us on the course. I don't want to work with you. Yeah, the same with friends. Like I talk about spirituality. And if someone has just no sense of that, like that's completely not part of their life at all in any way, then that scares them off, right? If I'm talking about my meditation retreat and they freak out and think it's weird. So that's a more subtle head on a spike, yeah? So yeah, be careful who you spend time with, build your network of support, build your connections in that way. Because that is so much part of what makes life worth living, I would say, and also in terms of the success of whatever projects you're working on. So yeah, build your support team.